Okay, welcome to another Lightning Strikes Twice, the minimalist version of Lightning Round, where we only have one topic apiece. And still, as ever, it's 5 minutes each, roughly. And then that's it. So, hope you enjoyed this truncated version of Lightning Round.
Slightly less boring, but Floyd is already asleep. So.
Yeah, he is. Oh, man. well, Well, this is I guess I'll start, and mine's kind of in the politics realm, I guess. So that would, of course, he conked out in advance of that. So here we go. Timer's ready. Should fines be proportional to income? And we might have talked about this before, but we can talk about it again.
We have, but it's something that people should really like try to pressure legislation for, because I think that's a smart idea, just because no matter what, like if you're rich, it doesn't matter how much a ticket costs, they really aren't gonna deter you
Well,
whatsoever doing
yeah,
something.
exactly. Because I mean, I thought the whole point of these fines or tickets were like as a deterrent against doing or something, or basically to keep you from doing something like, say, speeding or whatever. And yeah, like somebody who has means, like they're not going to bat an eye at $100, whereas somebody who's just barely scraping by $100 might make they might lose their house or something like that, or not be able to
Yeah.
feed their kids because of that. And so I think it does make sense. I mean, it'd be difficult to quite figure that out, but I think, most of that information's out there digitally now. So like, yeah, if you get pulled over for speeding and you're like Elon Musk, well, you might get hit with like $1.5 million speeding ticket or something,
Right.
which is like, oh, he might actually be like, ah, shit, I don't want to do that too often.
Now, I'm kind of shocked at how cheap tickets are in Germany. Like, you might get like a 25 euro speeding ticket or something, right?
Mhm.
But if you get like three of them, you'll lose your license. So they kind of do more of the deterrent is more or less taking away the privilege, rather than uh, having some kind of monetary hit on the people, right?
Yeah,
And
and that kind of makes sense too. I could see that like being
yeah,
reasonable.
but I mean, at that point, like, why even have the tickets? I guess, like,
Yeah.
or like any monetary penalty, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in some situations that, you know, you can't, there's nothing you could really do apart from a monetary fine.
Mm-hmm.
Jaywalking or whatever, that kind of thing. It's like, well, what are you going to do? Take away my shoes or something? Like,
But
so
I think in a similar vein, the money from a ticket should be applied in some way, shape, or form to the infraction itself. Like
yeah.
whether it's awareness, or like making streets better somehow, so that there are not as many problems, like getting rid of roundabouts.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's a pretty sensible thing. I mean, if governments can actually like reasonably manage money, if we could tackle that problem, sure. Yeah, anything involving traffic stuff should go to roads and road safety and education and whatever signage or something, and things involving houses or whatever. It should go kind of within the same field in which the fine was exacted.
Yeah,
If it's a
because I
business
tell you,
fine.
what pisses me off is when I think I did a minute microscopy about this. We can put up there. Um, there was like the buses in Seattle. There's certain lines where you just tap your card at the bus stop, and then when the bus shows up, just to keep things moving, you just hop on. And every now and then they'll have fare enforcement come on and check your card to see if you tapped it recently, and they'll give you a ticket. Well, that ticket, when you look into it, none of the money goes to transit. None of it.
That's stupid.
Right.
Like,
Like, so So the bus lines not only don't get paid, but they don't get the ticket money either. So it's like they just get screwed. The people get screwed out of some money. And where does it go? I forget. Like,
Yeah, just into some general fund or something that gets used for whatever, probably.
yeah, how
Yeah,
stupid is that?
that is
Like,
pretty stupid. Yeah, I
what
think
else is that happening
probably a
with?
lot. I think the more, yeah, I would.
Like, think about that. Like, there really needs to be like some oversight and
Yeah, and
a
better
little
management.
cleaning up.
Because yeah, honestly, it's like they always say they don't have enough money, and it's like, well, maybe if you like managed your money better, you have plenty. Because I mean, shit, if I had the kind of money that like a city had, there'd be all kinds of good stuff happening. Like, you know, oh, that's time. All right, so I guess we can go on to your topic then.
All right. Well, this is kind of in the realm of economy. So, if we went to war with China, would the world's economy collapse?
Oh shit, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, the two big power players in terms of industry and commerce and things like that, sure. Like, I mean, we would also implode, I think, too, because the US is absolutely dependent on China for almost everything.
Oh,
Like, if
yeah.
you look at it, like, think about it. And then, of course, in turn, because we're buying stuff from China, they're dependent on us. So it
Right.
would, that would be, oh, and then, everybody else is interrelated as well. So every country would probably feel the effects of that to a huge degree.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's not just the US. Like, every country likes cheap things.
Mm-hmm.
And so everywhere you go, everywhere.
Yeah.
Uh, I had a friend that went to Russia a number of years ago before everything was totally crazy. And she brought back a souvenir, like a nice Russian coat, all furry with a big hood and stuff. And I looked at the tag, it said made in China.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
was like,
exactly.
uh,
Yeah.
not
China's
really Russian, is
basically
it?
China's basically industry of the whole world. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's where everything happens. And I mean, I honestly think it's a good thing. A lot of people are like, oh, no, it's a good thing. It raises everybody up, right? We get inexpensive things. Some of them
Yep.
are of dubious quality, but we get
The way they
inexpensive
keep
things.
it cheap, though, is like with that slave labor, basically.
Well, some of it, but they're not that bad. I mean, in some areas probably, but it's like it could be better, and I'm sure it will get better. But that's okay, and that's ultimately helped China overall, its own economy and its people, lifting them up out of poverty essentially. So, it's good. But that's the thing is like everybody's dependent on China, and if they have to turn all of their industry towards making machines of war, well, they're not going to be making all these cheap electronic gadgets and stuff. They're going to be building aircraft and missile systems and stuff like that, and artillery and drones and whatnot. Obviously, drones we've realized are like the thing for warfare now.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, yeah, that's the new frontier of that. And that's the thing. All our drones, everybody's drones come from China, basically. You know, I think
Oh, really?
yeah, I think, although I think you like Ukraine right now, they're building their own drones. There's that kind of thing. So that they're at least slightly separate. But I mean, they're still using stuff made in China as well. I mean, but yeah, it would. I think if we went to war with China, it would be kind of the end, or at least like an end of things. It would, boy, that would.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know
think.
that that would even be a bad thing though, because like I feel like there needs to be kind of a hard reset on the global economy.
Well, I agree, but it's got to be done, correctly. And I don't know if like a sudden, war would be the right way to go. Um, you know, you got to
No,
have a
but
better
it's one of
plan.
those things where like nobody's really gonna want to pull the trigger on it, no pun intended. Uh, to like I mean reset the economy. I mean, so like if everyone's left with no choice,
True,
then
but it depends on who is in control of rebuilding things, right? If it's like intelligent people, a mass of people, then sure, I could see that going well. But if it's the same people who are currently running things, well, it's going to be same as it ever was, basically.
Yeah.
we'll probably end up suffering even more. Like it'll be even worse. So like that wouldn't be a
Probably.
good idea. So it's yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, it would certainly, yeah, if there was a war with China between China and the US, it would devastate everybody, I think. Like not just US and China, but like every other country would feel that in a big way.
Yeah.
I mean, because
I think the motto of governments is like, if it's not broke, break it. And if it is broke, make it even worse.
yeah, break it more. Yeah. That's
Break it
true.
and re-break it.
yeah. But I don't see because of that dependency, interdependency that we have, or codependency, I guess. Um, I don't see either side initiating that in any way. I think we would always reach for diplomacy, and like war would basically be an absolute last resort. Just because of it's kind of like it's the nuclear option essentially. It's like, that would be game over if we did that for both sides. So nobody's going to want to do that. Um,
Mm.
well, maybe there are some people up there that want to do it, but that's a whole different story. Yeah.
Oh.
okay. Well, that's time. So, well, everybody, hopefully you enjoyed the lightning strikes twice. yeah.